Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today is Friday. It is 10 a.m. and it is the morning, the day before my first ever nighttime market, which is tomorrow starting at 4. So I am just wrapping up everything. I made all the products, the rest of the products yesterday, and I'm sorry I didn't record any of it. I just really wanted to get through it because I knew I had to make a lot of stuff yesterday. So it took me probably about 9 hours to finish everything. But I might be exaggerating. It probably took me about 7 hours, really. But anyway, I did all of that yesterday, so now everything is ready. And now they just need their labeling, their packaging, and they'll be ready to go for tomorrow's market. So that is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm in bed here. I have one tray of the wax melts here. So I'm just labeling with the labels that I printed out from last time. And I'm just sitting here watching YouTube with some of my favorite people on there. They just put out a new vlog, and they also have a candle business here in New York. So I watch them for inspiration and I enjoy their videos. But I'm going to be doing that. That is the whole day today for me, pretty much, is printing out labels and being on my Cricut and just labeling all the products. So I'm going to be doing that in my room because I don't have any room out there in the living room. My desk is full of products and my crafting table, for the time being, is full of wax melts. But in here, it's just easier to hook up my Cricut and everything. I cannot tell you how much I cannot wait to have a space. Doesn't have to necessarily be a room, but at least space to plug all this stuff up and be able to go to that area and work and not have to set everything up, break everything down, and put it away. So I am, fingers crossed, hoping that day comes in the next 4 months. So, but until then, this is what I'm doing. I am waiting on an Amazon package because I ordered some stuff on Wednesday. I needed a light. I needed a tablecloth. Yes, I had to buy another tablecloth because I went back to the email, the acceptance email, and my table is 8 feet instead of 6 feet. So I ordered one of those, and then I also ordered a light. And let me show you the light that I actually purchased from Amazon a couple of days ago. So this is the light I'm going to be using for my table tomorrow. It is what I thought would be a little lantern because it looks small in the picture, but it's actually a good, decent size. And it has a dimmer on it. It lights up bright. I'm actually gonna turn it on. Ooh, warning. And then it also dims. There it goes. So it dims, so I want to put it on the dimmer when I'm there at night. There we go. But it is LED and it's also rechargeable on the back here. So I purchased this because it was on sale. It was one of the ones that was on my wish list. So I purchased this one, and then I felt like this wasn't going to light up the whole space, the 10 by 10 space. So I went ahead while the deal is still going and I purchased another one. What I like about these is that you can hang them on your tent. So you just take off I'm not going to take off the thing there, but you could take off the thing from what I saw. And there's like a little clip right here where you can just clip it onto your tent or rod or whatever you put above in your tent, and you could just hang it from there. So I ordered another one of these. I ordered the tablecloth, and I also ordered some more of the 1 ounce spray bottles because I need to make a sample spray, tester for Common Spa Day. I did add the new Reed diffuser room sprays. I was going to say new Reed diffusers. I added the new refills for the Reed diffusers. I also added a new room spray for this market. So I was going to add 2, but I figured I'd add 1 more and that will be it. I won't be making any other ones until later on down the road because I don't want to overdo it and bombard myself with even more product and more overhead. So I just stuck with that. Those are the only new things aside from the tote bags, of course, which I finally have tote bags that I can actually sell at the market. So those are done. They just need their tags on them, their price tags on them, and they are straight. But that is everything I'm going to try to do today, because even though I have the morning tomorrow to do whatever, I kind of want to leave that to just pack everything if I can't pack it tonight, or just to get myself mentally prepared for the day. But I am still exhausted. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I'm still exhausted, but I'm ready to get this stuff done, and I'm ready to finish this vlog. I'm so glad that it's like 41 minutes long, so I can watch it and enjoy it while I'm labeling the wax melts, and then I will get started on the Cricut. But it's not much today. It's a lot of boring work today, and I think I am going to wrap it up here for now. So this is all my stuff. I have my tent. I have 2 duffel bags this time, my checkout box, my sandbags, and my new wagon that I'm using. And I have my water and my bag on the side of me and my little carrying case for my testers. Cab is on the way. I will do an intro once I get settled in. I don't know if you can hear me, guys, but I'm all set up, and yes, there's no intro for this video because I spent the majority of the time fighting the wind, which I'm still fighting to make sure my tent doesn't go down. But I'm all set up, as you saw, and it's a little chilly out here. I got 1 sale so far, but I'm enjoying the environment. It's a fall market. It is a lot of kids out here with their costumes, which is always awesome to see because Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. So yeah, but I'm not that far from the stage, and I'm praying my tent doesn't blow away. But I'm not that far from the stage, and it seems like every time I go to sit down, the wind wants to blow. So I might mic so you guys can hear me a little bit better. But if not, then I'll just do a voiceover from here. But that is pretty much it. There is a band about to get on this page, and yeah, I'm just gonna sit here for the remainder of the event. I probably won't film too much because of the wind, but I'm going to sit here and enjoy the festivities. So fingers crossed, guys, that my tent doesn't break in this windy weather that Mother Nature decided today would be the day that she would test it. So yeah, but that was pretty much it for now. You just love cleaning yourself on camera, don't you? Welcome back, everyone. It is now 5 days from my last market, and I'm all rested up for the most part because I do have to start getting ready for another market that's coming in 2 weeks. Well, as I'm recording this, no longer 2 weeks. But anyway, it is also Halloween. It is like 80 degrees outside. It is crazy, but I am here to go over the recap of the Wonder Market Fall Festival that I just did. So let's hop right into it because I have my 1 page of notes ready. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I only have 1 page of notes today. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So the preparation for this market was a little bit more than the Grand Bazaar market because I did have to replenish a decent amount of what I sold previously, and also I wanted to ramp up what I'm bringing just a little bit as far as the amount of products goes. So instead of bringing 3 room sprays of each, I ended up bringing 4 room sprays of each, which still worked out for me. Thank goodness, because yeah, so I ramped that up. I also added some new products which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but first I want to say that yes, as you saw, I think I put the footage in here. I can't remember if I recorded it or not, but as you saw, I did get the tote bags. They did come before the market in time, and I put the prints on them. I like all the prints that I came up with. I still have plenty more that I want to put on them, but these are a nice starter for me. This Sleep Only Vibes one was a last minute thing. I actually pieced that together in Canva probably about 2 days before I started doing the bags. So I am happy for that. I ended up putting those on there. They came out nice, and no, I did not wash them beforehand, but I did use my heat press to kind of get some of the wrinkles out of it before I put the designs on them. So I did have those. I made 10 of them, and I want them to kind of carry me throughout the rest of the markets. So I'm not making any more for the upcoming markets. I'm just going to use those, and whatever sells, and whatever doesn't, I'll probably either hold on to them for next year, or I will end up putting them on the Etsy shop. I'm not sure yet. So as I said, I did introduce another new product, actually 2 new products. One was I turned my common spa day candle into a room spray just to test it out. I really just made 3, and that is all I'm carrying for the rest of the markets to see how it does, seeing as the other 4 do very well in sales. So I made that, and then also I introduced my refills for my reed diffusers. So all 4 of my scents now have refills to them, so I was excited for that. Alright, so let's get to the market. So the market that I did was called the Wonder Market Fall Festival. So it is a market that involves live music from bands within the area, local bands, and they were doing like a costume type theme there for Halloween, as well as fall decorations all over. So it was kind of like a bit of everything all wrapped in one. Now it went from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So this was my first ever nighttime market, which I had to be prepared for with lights and everything. And I had to be at the market at 2 p.m. So it's like 18 minutes, 20 minutes away from me. So I had plenty of time this Saturday morning to just handle stuff that I didn't before. So because I was up a little later than expected the night before, I ended up packing all my products in the morning, which worked out because I had plenty of time before the market started and before I had to get out of the house to do all of that. So I packed up all my products the morning before, and I ended up spending that morning just doing that. And believe it or not, I was still running behind schedule. I don't know what it is. I might have to start an extra hour early, or I might have to pack stuff far in advance so that I'm not going stir crazy by missing that deadline of what I plan to leave by. Now I do have a new wagon, which I was excited for. It was my first time using a wagon. And yes, I'll still be using my old wagon because it's still fairly new. I bought it earlier this year before I did my first market. But this one is a heavy duty one, and it has a space for me to put my tent, so I'm not struggling to drag my tent along with my wagon, which I wish I had for Grand Bazaar and all the markets beforehand. But I have it now, and it worked out so well. It worked out so well because I was able to transport everything on this wagon. But I think I left around 1:30 in the afternoon. So I started bringing stuff down around 1:15, 1:20. And I really didn't open the wagon until I got to the market. So we packed up into the van we packed up into the Uber and headed on. It was about like 18 minutes away from where I live. So I get there and the cabbie helps me unload everything, and the coordinator comes and she greets me right away. She pointed me to my spot and I started to set up. I put up my tent by myself. This is the first time I ever put up my tent by myself. I took what my sister told me as far as putting a sandbag on one leg goes and then pulling it out by myself, because it was not that I was running out of time, but I didn't want to take up too much time waiting for somebody to come and help me put up my tent because they were helping other people. Now, as I'm setting up, I'm noticing that the wind is really, really windy. And I didn't know if my tent was able to stand with that type of wind. So I put my sandbags on all four legs, but it seemed like that wasn't enough for this type of wind. Now, at that point, I didn't know that we were also by the water, because if you're by the water and it's windy like that, it's extra wind that comes off the water. So I put my tent up. And I would have to say probably about I was there at 2. We had to be ready to go at 4. I think I was there for a good hour just trying to make sure my tent didn't fly away in this crazy wind, because as I'm looking at everybody else, they're trying their best to hold on, to buckle down, to make sure it didn't lift up off the ground. So it really just, even though I had 2 hours once I got there to set up everything, it really came down to me setting up my table probably around 3:30. But the people that run the venue, they did have extra stuff that they were going around to each vendor and helping them secure the tent down further. So that was a plus. I'm glad that they had that extra stuff. There was moments in between when the wind would actually die down before it picked back up again. So I was able to set up my table properly. Once I had my table set up, I started to, of course, do my routine of taking pictures and videos of the setup and getting ready for the market to start. I was still, because I was behind, and I'm going to talk about why I was so behind in a minute, but I was behind getting everything set up. So I did have a group come to my table, and they ended up buying room spray. I wasn't quite set up yet, so I just know I wasn't in the mindset of welcoming customers at that time because the wind just irritated me the whole market. But they ended up buying a room spray, and I rung them up and I talked to them for a little bit about my other products and how they're all made by me, everything that I say when I talk to people that come to the table. And they bought a bamboo room spray, and then they were on their way to enjoy the festival. So in the beginning, the market was kind of slow when it first started up, and we pretty much were standing there still trying to bunker down tents to make sure that they didn't fly away or come up. And somebody's tent actually did fly away, but we were trying to secure the tents as best as possible with the stuff that the venue had given us. And I honestly spent the majority of the time just standing up and holding on to my tent every time the wind blew, because it was really, really strong, and I could see my tent just starting to sway back and forth. I will say it did last throughout the entire market because the wind was there the entire market. So some highlights of the market, because I don't want it to be completely down due to the weather, but some highlights of the market was definitely the music, the live music, and seeing all the attendees in their little costumes. There were kids running around everywhere, and they all showed up and showed out and showed their best costumes. And it was just a fun time seeing them dancing and running around, and their parents too were also dressed up, a good amount of them in costume. So next to me there was a vendor, and she and her partner ended up doing the pumpkin painting that they had advertised for the market. And this is where attendees can come and sit down, and there's like a wooden pumpkin that they give you, and you paint it any way you like. But they set up right next to me, so it was cool to see all the different pumpkins. While I was on my downtime, I was just watching to see what ideas and what creative pumpkins they were going to come up with. And of course, meeting some of the vendors there. I've so far run into vendors that are very friendly, and you probably would think New York doesn't have any friendly people whatsoever, but we do have a good amount of friendly people here. And I noticed that in the market space, they are very friendly, they're helpful. So I got to talk to the vendors over here, and then later on in the night, a couple of vendors on the downtime came to my booth and we spoke. So the vendors were very friendly. And also the coordinator of the event, Wonder Market, she's very friendly as well and very helpful. We had a long conversation at the end of the night about things and where she wants to go as far as these markets go. And then also the team itself of the venue, they were very helpful and friendly. And then finally, the other highlight was my favorite of the day was just the nighttime vibe. Seeing all the lights lighting up all the booths. It just set a vibe of fall, of relaxation, and I really enjoy seeing them lit up and seeing the displays lit up. Now let's get to the mishaps of this market. And the biggest mishap of this market was that one of the vendors' tents blew away. And it happened to be right next to me. I didn't record anything because you're going to find out why I didn't pick up and record. So the vendor next to me, she came a little while after I did. I had already set up my tent and my table and my chairs, and I was just waiting for the wind to die down so I could start putting the products on my table. So she needed help putting up her tent, and the event coordinator came over to help her, and I figured I would offer to put up the tent while the lady that works at the venue was going and trying to find more stuff to weigh down our tents on that side. So we ended up putting up her tent, and I really don't know what happened between her not being there and her tent blowing away. But once the tent was up, I ended up walking back to mine to start finishing setting up. And next thing I know, she was not there at her tent. And then the next thing I know, her tent somehow slips out of the restraints that they put on it. And it pretty much went airborne in the air. So nobody's there but me. So I end up trying to run after this tent. It goes sailing over the parked truck that was on the other side of us, on this side. So my tent is here, her tent is here, there's some space there, and then there's a truck on the other side parked, 2 trucks. So it goes over the truck, the first truck, and then it ends up landing on the other side in between the 2 trucks there. So I'm glad it did, because if that other truck on the other side wasn't there, it probably would have flew over the gate and ended up injuring somebody. But thankfully it didn't. And also there was another vendor on that other side, so I'm glad she didn't get hit by it. I squeezed through the 2 parked trucks that was there, and I tried to grab it, and the lady that was over there, she asked if this your tent. I said, no, it's my neighbor's tent right there. And the 2 of us pretty much stood it up, dragged it back over to the other side. And by the time we got around the truck, the vendor was coming back, and she was so shocked that it happened. But it was buckled down. I guess the wind was so powerful that it just slipped it out of everything that tied it down and swung it over. However, later on in the market, during the market, the tent ended up collapsing, and there was people under the tent doing the pumpkin painting, so it did end up collapsing on them. No one was hurt again, but we did have to take the tent down. I did help them take the tent down and just throw it away because by then it was just so badly damaged. The other mishap was really just the wind. The wind was really, really strong that day, really, really powerful, and a lot of us were like trying to hold on to our stuff and what we had. Now, the moment you guys have been waiting for, and it is, did I sell anything? How much did I sell? And what is my gross profit? So yes, despite the wind and airborne tents and stuff falling over and me being freezing cold and it being more of a music festival than a vendor market, I did make sales. I ended up making 11 sales on the day, pretty much matching the ones I did the weekend before. Well, 2 weekends before at Grand Bazaar, and my gross profit ended up being $255.54. So I did make my goal once again. I made my vendor fee back, and I did manage to make both cab fares back with a little profit left over. So my top seller of the day once again was Beachside Cottage room spray. I pretty much sold all but one. That I'm like going like this, but I pretty much sold all but one room spray that day. So I'm glad I made an extra one just in case somebody wanted to purchase another one. I did make a first time sell of my Oris Luxe Reed diffuser, and I sold my first refill of that as well. It was to my sister. She ended up purchasing it because she loved the scent. She needed to have it right away, so I'm fine with that. A sale is a sale no matter who it comes from, and she really wanted to support my business, so I'm glad that she bought that one. So overall, it was a nice little market. It was a nice experience for my first ever nighttime market. It was a little chilly. The crowd did die down a lot. So the crowd wasn't there the entire market, but there were people like coming in and out here and there. So it wasn't like it was completely dead. I would say probably around 8 o'clock was when it was completely dead. And then the coordinator ended up letting us go early. So the question is, will I do this one again? And I'll say probably. I'll probably do this one again. I don't want to say no to it because after talking to the coordinator of the event and also of the venue itself, it looks like they want to expand and do more markets like that. They want to improve on it. They want to grow it a little bit more than what it is now. So that is it for the recap today. I thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope you guys are enjoying these market videos a little more. I do have 3 more left after this one, and one is a weekend market, 2 in November, and then the weekend market is in December. And if I sign up or get accepted for other ones, because I am on the wait list for others, then I will definitely update those plans for you guys. But I hope you do enjoy these market videos. I enjoy piecing them together for you guys. I really do want to expand on them a lot more than what I'm showing, and that means me getting out of my way and actually getting up and filming when I'm there by myself and don't have anybody else to show, and just showing you guys more of the process of what I'm doing. But if you do like these type of videos, then give it a like because it lets me know that you guys enjoy it. Comment down below, share, and also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell when you do so that you could be notified when the next new video comes out. Now, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and don't forget to show yourself a little more appreciation. So until next time, this is Tammy saying, take care, everyone.